Bless, bless, bless. It's the Down to Earth podcast, Down to Earth Network with your host, Sean Myrie. And we got Rastafari Samurai in the background.
Yeah, damn right.
Today's subject, one of the main subjects, we're going to talk about the Toronto slang versus America. But we're going to first talk about this slang. What we're talking about is Jamaican influence. They call it patois, right? Patois. But for a couple of years now, I think people been using it too much or maybe just the wrong way representing that which is part of the Toronto culture because Toronto has a lot of Caribbean people, especially with the Jamaican influence, right? So recently, with like the Drake and the Kendrick Lamar beef, a lot of people been getting more research about Toronto um, ever since the spotlight been on, Drake regarding this beef. So the locals, or I should say the Toronto people from the six, people been checking out a lot of our media from America and other places, and they're listening and they're hearing the slang. And the slang what they're hearing is people trying to speak, right? Jamaican, I'm
No, man.
guessing.
No,
Or
no, man. They're trying to mimic.
are they trying to mimic? Wait, is the mic? Yeah.
No, they're
People
trying
trying
to
to
mimic.
mimic they're trying to mimic the Jamaican patois, which is sounding it's sounding real bad, right? Check, check. It's sounding real bad. It doesn't sound good, honestly, because now you have a lot of backlash coming down from the Americans more than ever when they check and they watch anything with Toronto rappers, especially. They hear it and they are making fun of it. Especially recently, there was a podcast episode with Pressa's brother and YG and Top Five, which is very big. It went viral, where they're talking about Kendrick and the whole situation with Drake. And a lot of Americans, I've seen a lot of media pages th- uh, been dissing the city in regards to how some speak. I'm not going to say how we speak, how some speak. A good amount of people do speak, and it's not good. It's not a good look, honestly. But there's other people who's been using it, like that guy named Snow Day. He has that popular song "What a Guan Delilah" or Delilah or something like that, and he it's like clownery. I don't know what people think of it, but if you were to do it in anybody else's culture, right? Rastafari Samurai, like
Well,
what is that? Like
yo, to be honest, I take it like for the Jamaicans, we allow it, and on the real, to be honest with you, we've been allowing it too long that it's getting ridiculous and disrespectful. You get what I mean? Real shit. Because if it was any other culture, we're mocking. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, like Chinese or Italian, or you know what I mean, or
Mm.
Russian or something like that, and you're mocking them. What you think they be saying?
What their argument is saying, they're not mocking. This is how I speak. Where I'm from. This
No,
is how I speak.
what? Hold on a minute.
That's what
Hold
some
on a
might
minute.
say.
Okay, let me ask you that. You're born in Jamaica?
No, they're
Okay,
not born
so
there.
wait there. If you're not born in Jamaica, right? So you speak like that, and you're not born in Jamaica, and you're born in Canada.
They're saying that's the Toronto slang.
No, man. No. No.
They're saying that's the Toronto slang. That's how people talk or the youth talk. I don't believe that because we see a lot of youth who don't speak like that. We don't speak like that. We're not trying to speak like that. We might have some, some of our speech with this, some Jamaican patois influence because that's our heritage, that's our background. Our parents are both from Jamaica, so we ain't faking Jamaican. We know we're from Canada, but we don't we don't do that. So the backlash is coming that from America, they don't like how it sounds. And I don't blame them. I don't like how it sounds.
Yeah,
A lot of people from Toronto
to
don't
be
like how
honest,
that
because
sounds.
how they do the certain pronunciation and with the words and all of that, they sound like clowns.
Yeah, they sound like clowns. I know a couple people popularized it. I know Drake started to put it in his music, like certain things what he says in his raps, what a lot of maybe Americans don't understand because we heard it before. But Drake
Listen
is
here,
part
man.
of it.
Listen here, man. The only ones here what really made it sound proper was Cardinal Official
Yeah,
putting it
Cardi.
in his
Yeah,
music. You know what I mean?
yeah.
The Jamaican slang and all of that.
I talked
He,
about
you
that. We
know,
talked about that
real
with
shit.
Tough Dumpling, Collision.
Yeah,
That
and
he was
he's
one of the
another
first
one.
one.
He's another
Yeah.
one still.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's funny, it's funny you mention Tough Dumplings still because Dumplings enough respect. You know what I mean? Enough respect do, but on the real, you know, uh, yo, uh, they're legends. You know, especially in
But
Bridging
Tough
what
Dumpling is really from Jamaica. He's
yeah,
Jamaican.
and his brethren will pass away, man. Like yo,
That's the difference. And
that
then Cardinal
yo,
Official, I'm guessing Cardinal is Jamaican too.
yeah, man. You have Jamaican background.
But the people who are using it are not even Jamaican background. A lot of them. They had that girl too. Remember that girl, the white girl too from here.
Hmm.
She was like another gimmick. She was like talking like trying to talk with the patois, or like do something like that. I don't know her name, but they made her go viral because of that. Because how she was talking about talking saying the man them. A lot of Toronto people will say the man them. So we're saying it, but
Yeah.
I know we sound better than how what I'm hearing other people saying it. The man them. That's what they be saying, and like it's like some clownery. That it's like you're trying to make fun of the Jamaican culture. It doesn't look good for our whatever people, our culture, that people are using it, and then Americans are thinking that's how everybody sounds, right? I know there's people who know better, but the wide percentage of them is thinking we all sound like that. But in defense, not really defense of that, I'll be straight up. There's a lot of people in America, from especially the South. I can't even understand one piece of word what you're saying either, right? Unless like those people are really trying to do the same thing, like you know what I mean, like make it exaggerate the accent. But yo, isn't it facts? I
Okay,
can't
man.
understand
Okay,
everyone
all
in
right. Let me.
certain
All
parts
right,
in
man.
America.
Let me just look back to the topic here, man. When an American is doing the Jamaican accent, the
Yeah.
Jamaican, right? How does that you know?
How does that
How
sound?
does that sound to the
American.
Jamaican?
Yeah.
No, to the Jamaican. Are they mocking them? Do they feel like it's disrespectful? You know what I mean? I'm just using it for an example with them, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna use them first,
Hmm.
right? So if they see it as maybe, yo, that's not a real accent and that's disrespectful for them. So what's the difference if we're doing it here?
No, but you see what it is? I think it's the people who are using it here. They're really I don't even like it. They're like it sounds too
Well,
clownery.
you
You
still
get-
didn't get me what I
What?
said. When the Americans are doing it,
Yes.
doing the patois
Yeah.
and doing it a certain way, it
Yeah.
sounds really raunchy, whatever. Okay. Now back to us here. What's the friggin' difference?
Maybe there is no difference. Maybe they don't like it. Maybe they
Okay.
don't like it the same way when American tries to do it.
Okay then, but it's still oblige, more of oblige here, right?
What do you mean oblige here?
Because think about it. Think about it. We do it here. Yeah, so come on, man. They do it like man, I don't know.
So what?
Don't you see certain blogs on certain ways on the comedic shit? You know when they do
Yeah,
like certain parodic,
parody.
parodies.
So
They really take it to an extreme here, and it's true. They take the patois lingo slang, and they're not Jamaican, and then after I'm making it like more of a clown
yeah, that's my
mockery.
thing with it.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So what's the difference when the Americans are doing it, and then after we're doing it, the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same thing, but they're criticizing us how it sounds now. There's a new audience who don't know about the
Listen here,
slang,
man.
and
Listen
they're
here, man. I'm
criticizing
sorry. I'm
they're
sorry.
criticizing
I'm
a lot of
sorry,
Toronto,
but yo, check
especially
this out.
artists, for
Check
you
this out. Check this
talking
out.
like that.
I'm first. We're first generation
Jamaican.
Jamaican. But you see, no, if I was born in Jamaica and I came here and hearing this fuckery, sorry, but I would be appalled. I'm sorry, I would be appalled. I would be thinking, what the Ross you're doing, and what are you saying, and all of these
Facts.
things. Because why I say this? Because the ones them in Jamaica who talk a certain clearly and all a dialect, right? Remember the ones them say, you talk bad, sir. You talk real bad. So if it's like that already, so what's the friggin' difference when it's over here and they're mocking it?
Yeah, and because of this, this is why I feel a lot of Americans have the artillery against Drake, because Drake they call a culture vulture, right?
Mm.
And he's been using the Jamaican, or trying to use what, the patois, like, he puts it in a
because
lot
he
of his
grew
songs.
because he grew up with it. He
Yeah,
didn't want to put it in at first,
yeah.
and then after later on, he sees how the hip hop yaguan,
Hmm.
right? So it got more to the popularity with it. So it's like, yo, I gotta infuse it with it.
So my question to Americans: don't didn't they not like Drake's songs where he puts a lot of sometimes that same slang in his songs, because they regard him high up, Drake. So that means you have listened to his songs with the same type of slang in it. So do you not like those songs, or what? Because, are you just give him a blight because he's Drake, that he could talk about, put that type of slang in there, and you guys don't care? You get what I mean? Because Drake does it.
Man,
Drake has done it, and I didn't like it either when he used it on some songs.
I don't like it. Period.
Have you heard it? You
Listen
heard,
here, man. Listen here,
have
man.
you heard some
The
of the
only
songs?
time I'm gonna tell you this straight up, I'm just gonna be straight up goods right now. Okay. The only time when it's obliged, right? Okay, we use Cardinal for the best example because we know that Cardinal have Jamaican background.
Hmm.
Okay, so if you got some Jamaican background in you and all of that, yeah, perfectly fine because that's your native tongue. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But if you're not have no Jamaican background and you're putting that in there, yo man, it's like you said, culture vulture. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? That's the way I look at it. I look at it like that. You know what I mean? Like if you're not doing like reggae music or something like that, you know,
Yo, I just say
you know
be
what I'm
be
saying?
be yourself, or try to be yourself. Not every trend is for everybody. Not everything, what, you know what I'm saying?
True that.
Not every trend is for everybody, because you know what, back in the days they had something going on like that. You know where it started? And I know a lot of people don't like this. Remember, say, what a guan guy, what up
Mm-hmm.
guy, guy. That was the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of it. A lot of people started to use that guy thing, and then it transformed into this now. like
Mm-hmm.
like I can't even try to mimic what they call Toronto slang,
Mm-hmm.
because it's crazy. Like, it sounds like clownery, right? Especially a perfect example, that the Wadaguan, whatever, the Lila track, that man made a whole image and parody, that using that whole slang and benefiting off of it. But it's
True.
like, it's making fun of Jamaicans to me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
And a lot of people, in Toronto, they stay quiet and just, they'll still support that. They'll still support that, even though they know that's not right. Because you're right, you can't go mimic anybody else's culture and put it in a parody. They'll think you're racist. You're discriminating.
But it's okay for the Jamaicans though.
Yeah, you're
It's
right.
it's it's okay
It's
though.
okay.
It's okay.
It's okay, because it's like, okay, if I was to wear like a martial arts suit, right? And I was to know some Asian words, but not even say it right, right? And I had that kind of dress up like I'm trying to look whatever stereotypically Asian. People have a problem with that. They're saying you're being discriminatory, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm wearing, okay, I'm dressed up like, almost like Bruce Lee was dressed up, just say, right? And I'm saying some Asian words, but stretching it, like making fun of it. That's what you're doing. It's like you're playing this character like this goof, like a dummy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And getting the views from it. And there's a lot of people are guilty because they're supporting it. Right? So now they look on the slang every time Americans look up Toronto, the scene, and they look on the characters they promote from here. They see how they talk, and it's like, what? This is how Toronto people talk? And it's not. It's the worst representatives they're
And
looking
that's
out for.
why I don't like it. You know what I mean? That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. To be honest, I've been like this for a long time. I never really said this for, you know what I mean? To be honest with you, like, yeah, it could be cool and all of that, you know, well, go on and all of them thing there, you know,
Yeah.
and where the thing there and all whatever, you know. But anyway, man, you know, like, we're Jamaican. We have the right to say what we have to say. We have the right. Okay, because what you want to say? Yeah, I'm born here, but what's your background? Well, I'm Jamaican. So yeah, when you're talking like that and you're not Jamaican, you know,
Yeah.
like, I'm just being honest. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, it's a Caribbean thing.
You know
Okay,
what
so
happened
what?
is
You want me to go on, hey boy, and all of them thing there, like, like the Trinis or the Bajans and thing like. You want me to like make fun of y'all too?
you remember the
You
saying
know
that
what I mean? Like, no, no, no. I'm just being real
yeah.
here, Sean. I'm just being real here, guy. This is our slang. This is our thing, right? So why can't you develop your own and make your own, right? You get what I'm
you remember
saying?
the saying that everybody wants to be Jamaican?
As long as they recognize it,
You,
I won't have a problem with
but
it.
you remember the
No,
saying
no, no.
that
As
saying?
long as they recognize it,
Yeah.
then I won't have a problem with
No,
it.
but you remember
But
that
if they claim this is how I talk, this is how I've been raised, no, 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 bro. No, bro. We've been raised like that.
but
Okay? You
you
get what I'm saying?
you remember
We've been raised
but
like that.
remember there's a popularity out there. Remember there was a saying for years we used to hear it that everybody want like if they're from Toronto and they're not even Jamaican, they'll claim they're Jamaican if somebody asks them.
What the fuck?
Huh? What?
For real?
You never you used to hear that guy? Like back in
Man.
like years, I'm talking way back. They would claim that they're like if just say a girl asks this guy if he's Jamaican, he and he's not Jamaican, he would say, "Yeah, I'm Jamaican." That's what happened. I think because the popularity of the Jamaican culture in Toronto, right? A lot of people associate themselves with Jamaicans so much. That's why you hear this, whatever this slang come out. That even people like, because remember, other people, you always hear it.
Okay.
Always
All right.
always associate
Check this
black
out.
people as Jamaican
Check
in
this out.
Toronto.
I just want to know the thing. Where that come from?
What?
The thing.
Jamaican slang.
Why you go on?
Jamaican. A lot of
With
things.
there.
Yeah, and bless.
Bless.
Yeah,
Okay. All right then. A lot of
brethren.
brethren. Oh, okay.
Could keep going. There's a lot.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right then.
No, but what I was
Mm.
trying to say,
I'm just trying to make some
there's
points
a time where
here.
the lot of well, can't blame them. A lot of people will associate other black people who are not Jamaican and call them Jamaican. Didn't you ever hear that before?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, I've seen other cultures thinking like all black people are Jamaican. Like that's the stereotype because they don't know about the other islands. They're
Yeah,
not as
no,
popular.
you're right. You're right because I felt it enough times. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, my brother. Oh, no, no, no. I'm like, yo, hold up a second here. You just assume say I'm Jamaican?
Yeah, they
Like, you know what I
assume.
mean?
They
Like,
assume.
I didn't even say anything in Jamaican.
So now it became more. What made it even worse is the slang, taking bits and pieces off of the Jamaican patois, made it popular for a lot of other people to speak like that, and then it made it even worse.
I guess so.
Make it even worse now, because now people are gonna think that's how Jamaicans speak. Certain people don't know better.
Listen here, man. All I gotta say is this: if the
The ones
Jamaicans
from
in
here,
Jamaica,
the ones from
all
here, they're gonna
right,
think that's how they
the
speak.
ones them in Jamaica, if them think say their own people talk but right?
Yeah.
How you think say them talking over here? Huh? Hmm? What?
I just know it's like a lot of people do have a slang down here, but they don't like the way how you see these people using it on especially the internet has they just kind of what you say exaggerate exaggerate more.
I guess.
And then people thinking, yo, why do they sound like that? It sounds so cringe. That's how I hear, on the net. You see in the comments, yo, this sounds cringe. Yo, these guys sound like they're making fun of how you sound, people. The ones who are like, it just doesn't work for everybody.
No,
Just doesn't work for everybody. I'm sorry.
no, dog.
Certain people just keep to doing something else because that is bad. And part
Mm-hmm.
of this whole exposure is the beef with Drake and Kendrick Lamar, because I remember Kendrick Lamar has a song where he puts the whole slang in the diss, in his diss, like he
Mm.
says Crody,
Crody.
Crody.
Who
He's
the
talking, yeah.
Who the hell uses that?
He's saying that's what these guys up at top use a lot. The West End guys from Toronto use
Yo, Sean,
Crody.
listen here, man.
I don't
Listen
use.
here,
I
man.
never heard that.
I'm
shit
gonna tell you
before.
something, man.
Sorry.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. You, I don't know, but me, I've been all around the city more than you. East, west, north, south of this city. Okay, maybe it's a little pocket, but it's not a normal
It's
word.
You know what the word is?
They don't use that
That
word.
word is probably
Yo.
to a certain place. A
Yo,
part of Toronto.
Yo,
It's probably-
okay. If correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm not right,
Yo, pass
okay. If I'm not right, when I'm saying down to the friggin' music, do they use my Crody in their musics?
Yeah.
No.
Who?
No. On the average, Sean, in Toronto.
No.
Oh, okay. So
No.
it's not a trending thing.
It's only an area thing.
It's an area thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly.
But they have this next thing called cheese.
Oh no, getting cheese. Then no, that is all around. That is all around. That one is all around. Getting cheese.
Getting cheese. Where'd that come
but
from?
not no Crody business.
But where'd the cheese come from? Where'd that come from?
Hmm?
Cheese. Getting cheese. Where'd that come from?
Cheese? I'm so cheesed. Well, that I'm not too sure.
But they use the Jamaican type of patois with that too.
Yeah, because me cheese bridging. You know what I mean?
My man, I can't even try to imitate this how they say it, man.
Come on, man. It's not hard, Sean. It's not hard. It's not hard, yo.
How it sounds,
because
man.
it sounds so funny. That's why it's not hard. It's not hard at all.
You have to exaggerate. I can't even do it. What? How they do it again?
Me cheese, me brethren.
Me cheese, me brethren.
You know what
That's
I
how
mean?
they sound.
Cheese.
Me cheese, me brethren. Oh, what else they say? Crody?
I don't even
My
know
Crody?
how they use that in a sentence.
Because that's what Kendrick came back with this.
I don't even know how they use that in a sentence, my Crody. Okay? I don't even know.
What else do they say?
Yeah, exactly. Cheese me star. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's right. Stoner P. You know what I mean? Cheese me star. You know what I mean?
don't know, man.
But like, yeah. I don't know, man.
The what the Guan Delilah really spotlight that fucking shit. When he done that,
well, that
it
one
made a
right
lot of
there,
people.
you said right there. Wayaguan is the most, they use the most. The most.
What the Guan, yeah.
Wayaguan. And you know where that come from. Whoa. But guess what? No one talks about these things.
We can't lie. Jamaican culture is very influential in
these
Toronto.
Things. See, no one talks about these things. Okay?
Jamaican culture is very big in Toronto. Can't deny that. So you know what? In the not defense of them, but just to explain it more clearly. In California, they got their slang, right? In Atlanta, they got their slang. Everywhere has an influence. New Orleans got an influence of French, right? And Creole. So down here, the influence, even if they're not, this is what's going on. Toronto's finally getting its accent. Even if you're not from Jamaica, as long as you're from Toronto, because Toronto has the influence of Jamaicans, you are going to have a couple, your sentences is going to sound like you're not going to understand if you're not from here. It's the same thing if we go to Atlanta. I wouldn't understand everything they're saying, their words, would we? Huh?
Them?
Yeah, we're not going to understand a lot of stuff
Check
they're
this
saying.
out. You're just saying Atlanta.
I'm just saying example.
How about the time when I met the Souls of Mischief guy? Them guys from Oakland, Yo, I couldn't understand the damn motherfucking word they
Yeah,
were
so
saying,
we
yo.
can't
You
expect
know
them.
what I mean?
I can't
Mm.
expect them to understand us, especially the ones who are exaggerating it. But that's not everybody. So it's like I said, if you the same way they have their influences and they break, it's called Ebonics. Remember, they made a book of it called Ebonics, right? So if you break down the English language, that the real English is Old English from England.
Mm.
So Jamaicans speak Old English, but that's why it's all kind of confusing to some people who have Ebonics, because Ebonics is English, but transformed more than just like all America. This is the black community changing the English language to theirs. So I would not expect American black to really take in Caribbean, Jamaican influence mixed with other people here who are not even Jamaican, because it sounds weird, right? Imagine American. He's listening to a guy from up here who has no. He's not Jamaican, but he's just mimicking that whole patois into slang. That's gonna make American like, what the hell is? What are they saying? They're not gonna like it. Remember, ignorance is what? What does that mean? Ignorance.
Ignorance
When
is
you don't
bliss.
when you don't want to try to choose to understand something, right? They go through it in America the same way.
Yeah, but ignorance is not only that, you're afraid of to understand something what you don't know.
Yeah. So the only reason people are talking about this is because people been using it more, and it's been popularized by like social media, and Drake represents Toronto. And then when other people are involved in it who are from Toronto, I'm talking the media, like you got academics and Aiden Ross, he put these guys on too on his stream. He put top five. He put the same guys who were YG, and he put Pressa's brother on their bundog, and then they're talking. You know what? Americans just you just could read the comments. They don't when they hear them talk, because they're not talking for them to understand. They're gonna diss you if they can't understand what you're saying. They're gonna diss you. That's just naturally because they want to understand.
Listen here, man. I'm gonna be real here. You want me to get real?
Mm.
I'm gonna get real. So, when it comes to the Americans, American media, even Jamaican media, okay, yeah, they have the slang and all of that. But guess what? You know what the difference is? What they know about the urban? They talk clearly. They talk clearly so that their audience could understand them. You know what I'm saying? Yes, they're still down with the culture, but guess what? They could understand them very clearly.
Yeah,
Instead of this niggerish things or the ratchet mother this and
yeah,
that.
yes. They have to
Okay.
speak clearly.
Yes, they still have to, and the media here, certain ones, them, yeah, the top ones have to speak clearly. Yes, they're still down with the culture, but you have to speak clearly. Like, look, listen to how we're talking right now.
We might have a
Can't
little
you?
slang,
Can't
but
you understand what we're saying? Yes, you can.
Mhm.
Because why? Um, yeah, we're educated. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We're educated, Tarati. We have intelligence.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm not saying enough don't have intelligence, but they're not on certain levels.
Mhm.
Okay? Just get that
Because
straight.
you know it's weird. I hear a lot of Toronto men who are not even Jamaican background, but they speak. You could hear the influence in their voice. You get what I mean? I'm talking other black people. They're not Jamaican, but you could hear the influence in their
Oh
voice.
yeah.
But they're not. Sometimes it's like this. If they're trying too much, it will sound very bad. But sometimes they could pass off as how they're talking because it's part of the culture, the Toronto culture. They've been around a lot of Jamaicans. If you're around a lot of Jamaicans, black or white, anybody, because you see it in England, right? You could sound more authentic, but you got to be around them. There's these people who are not around the culture. They kind of just hear it. I mean, you get what I mean? And it sounds ridiculous. It just sounds ridiculous.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is.
I seen other, yo, I'm going to be straight up. You know, I recently seen other guys, Caucasian guys, doing skits about it, making fun of the Toronto man. You got mans from here making fun of Toronto man, how they talk.
Like I said,
Not even from America,
it's a
from here.
mockery. It's a mockery, and you know, I'm not least surprised. It's a mockery. It's a mockery. It's a
Mhm.
friggin' damn shame. You know what I'm saying? It's a friggin' goddamn shame. Because why? They do it deliberately because of what? Because of the
Make them get away with it.
no, because they keep on doing the foolishness because of the clout, the popularity. They want to get by with the
Think of it. No, those
fuckery.
guys, those white guys, they're smart. They're saying, "Yo, if we do a parody of Toronto, like these Toronto guys, how they talk, we'll get a lot of views." We saw that guy Delilah do it, so it's like, "Yo, let us try something. Let's see what we could do." And there's more. These other guys are doing it too, and they are wearing and they're dressed up a
You
certain
know
way
what, man? And to be honest with you, I'm surprised no one has been doing like like certain big time skits upon this friggin' Toronto slang shit.
Well, a guy did do it. These two other
Yeah,
guys
well,
do it
they
recently.
well, no, putting it as a series of like more of a
Probably will. I won't be surprised they do it.
like a comedic series kind of thing because it's gotten out of hand.
Now that you're saying that, I think these guys are gonna do it. I don't know their name, but I seen them, two of them,
It's got out of hand.
and they dressed up a certain way, like they're putting their hat to the side.
Listen here, man. Listen here, man. It's gotten so bad that they're like, yo, like it's gotten raunchy, like down to what no ital things. You know what I
Oh
mean?
wait, who?
Ital. Ital is the next word they're using
Oh yeah, yeah,
nowadays,
yeah,
man.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Come on, man.
yeah.
Get with the program here.
This is what they call culture vulture things. Let's be straight up. This is what you call culture vulture.
Well, yo, man, it is what it is, man. Like, you know, it hasn't changed. It's been like this for a while. It's, you know, what can you say? You know,
Mhm.
it is what it is.
So yo, right now, Toronto, we got to prove ourselves more as artists to America. What I'm seeing, like it or not, the backlash of this whole thing with Kendrick and Drake is still lingering. And now you got this other guy who says he represents a man, right? And now it's still even more stronger now. It didn't go away. So now they're just looking at Toronto now. Every day there's talks about Toronto now. As long as Drake is big, there's talks about it. As long as this guy who dissed Kendrick, because Kendrick represents America. He's doing the football. He's doing the Super Bowl. That represents America big. And you have this guy threatening him from here. Now they're
Go.
just eating us up.
That's how you go.
Because who they're calling one of the biggest, what you're saying, in hip hop right now, popularity. Kendrick just won like a whole bunch of BET awards. Even though I don't really, we know how that awards is, but he won all these awards. So what is he? The American hero. That's what I'm calling him. He's the American hero. Drake is not the American, but people still love him. And now it's like people saying, you lost, right? You lost. Now somebody's representing for you to keep you in this whole whatever race beef. And they're making fun of how well, not we speak, how many are trying to speak in Toronto.
Hmm.
I'm just saying this whole slang thing makes a lot of people sound stupid or look stupid. I mean,
True.
because I'm not trying to do it. I know I don't try to do it. You get what I'm saying? Like we might have certain things in our vocabulary with the influence of patois from Jamaica, but we're not exaggerating on the words. You get what I'm saying? Like it's just crazy, man.
Nuts.
Nuts. But anyways, people, this was a episode regarding the slang, right? Versus America. I know there's a lot of Jamaicans in America, and do the people in, for example, New York, uh, speak like the people in Toronto who are around Jamaicans? Do they? You're right. No, they probably try to, but I never heard anyone do like like trying to make fun of it like we see here. I don't see no mockery. There could be, but I never really see no mockery of it where people are like dissing. There's people who have tried to mimic it everywhere, right? Even in England. But that's all I gotta say, people. But subscribe to the channel. This was the slang episode, raw and unfiltered, down to earth podcast with your host Sean Myrie and Rastafari Samurai. Yeah, Down to Earth Network, EQ TV. We are live and we're gonna be out. Anything you want to say, Rastafari Samurai?
Well, please subscribe to all the channels, and thank you for everybody for watching. You don't know, you don't know for every episode. We appreciate everybody for subscribing, supporting. You know what I mean? Look out for our merch series coming out soon for the new year 2025. You don't know, stay alive. And we always end it like this. This is the Rastafari Samurai, never leaving you dry in your eye. I approve this message nationwide.
Bless.